The desert was silent, wide, and empty. Only the hot wind moved across the golden sand. But on this strange evening, something unusual broke the stillness. A research team, led by Dr. Raylan Carter, had found an object, something that should not exist in the desert or anywhere on Earth. Raylan stood over the half-buried object, brushing sand away with his gloved hand. "Careful," he said to his team. His voice was calm, but his eyes were sharp with curiosity. The object was a perfect black circle, smooth like polished glass. No scratches, no cracks, no marks of age. It looked as if someone had placed it here only minutes ago, yet it was buried deep under centuries of sand. How can this be so smooth? Maya, the youngest scientist on the team, whispered. She tapped the edge with her finger. It was warm, too warm for something lying in cold night sand. Raylan frowned. Natural stones do not look like this, and they don't stay warm. Colonel Reeves, the security officer assigned to the team, stepped forward. "Is it dangerous?" Raylan shook his head slowly. "I don't know, but whatever this is, it is not made by nature." The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky red and purple. As darkness grew, something else happened, something none of them expected. The strange stone began to glow. A soft blue light spread across the surface, like ripples moving over calm water. Everyone stepped back, shocked. The light grew brighter, and then faint patterns began to appear, symbols, lines, circles, shapes that none of them had ever seen. "What language is that?" Maya asked. Raylan stared at the glowing symbols. "I don't think it's any language." "We know." The wind howled as if warning them, but the team's eyes were locked on the stone. The symbols moved across the surface like they were alive. Some symbols matched carvings seen in ancient caves around the world, caves thousands of miles apart, yet showing the same strange shapes. How is this possible? Maya whispered. Raylan swallowed hard. His mind raced. These symbols were never explained by historians. People thought ancient humans imagined them, but now. He touched the edge of the glowing circle. Suddenly the stone pulsed. A heartbeat. A real heartbeat. Strong and fast. Raylan jerked his hand back. "It's alive," he breathed. The team looked at each other, fear and excitement mixing in their eyes. A stone with a heartbeat was impossible. But this was happening right in front of them. Then the ground trembled, just a little, like the desert itself was reacting. "Sir, should we call headquarters?" Reeves asked. Raylan kept staring at the stone. "Not yet. Something is happening." The symbols stopped moving. The light faded to a deep, calm blue. For a moment, everything went silent. No wind, no sound. Not even the usual desert insects. And then a voice came from the stone. It was not loud, but clear. Not metallic, not robotic, almost human. "If you are hearing this," the voice said slowly, "then humanity has forgotten who they truly are." Maya gasped, covering her mouth. Reeves reached for his weapon, unsure what to do. Raylan's heart raced. "This is impossible," he whispered. "Impossible." But the voice continued. "You search for answers in the stars. Yet the truth is buried beneath your own feet. Your past was hidden. Your memories were taken. What you know of human history is only a shadow." The team stood frozen. The stone was talking, telling them something unbelievable. Something world-changing. The voice softened. "But now the time has come. The seal has weakened. The truth must return. You must remember who you once were." A bright flash erupted from the stone. The team shielded their eyes. When the light faded, the symbols had changed again, forming a map. A map with glowing points across Earth. Maya pointed at it with shaking hands. "Doctor, those locations match the caves with the old symbols." Raylan nodded slowly. "This is a map leading somewhere. But where? And why now?" Before he could Think further. The desert wind returned stronger this time. Sand whipped around them. The stone's glow dimmed, pulsed twice, then went silent. Reeves stepped close. "We need to leave, now. We don't know who else heard that signal." Raylan felt a chill run down his spine. He looked up at the dark sky. The stars looked different now, bigger, louder, almost watching them. "I agree," Raylan said. "Pack everything. We take the stone to the lab." He lifted the object with both hands. It felt heavier than before, almost resisting him, as if it had a will of its own. But he did not stop. Tonight, they had discovered something older than human civilization. Something intelligent. Something that carried a message humans were never meant to forget. As they drove away from the desert site, Raylan kept staring at the stone in his lap. He felt like the voice inside it had spoken directly to him, and deep inside his heart, a fear grew. If humanity had forgotten their true past, then something or someone made them forget, and whatever that thing was, it might be coming back. The long drive back to the secret research base felt heavier than usual. Dr. Raylan held the strange glowing stone in his hands the whole time. It no longer pulsed, no symbols moved across the surface. It looked dead. But Raylan could feel something inside it quietly waiting. Maya kept looking over her shoulder during the ride. "Sir, do you think someone else heard the message?" Raylan did not answer immediately. He stared at the dark desert stretching on both sides of the road. "Yes," he finally said. "And that is what scares me." When they reached the underground entrance of the base, guards scanned their vehicle and allowed them inside. The base was hidden beneath layers of rock, far from any city. Only a few high-level scientists even knew it existed. The moment they entered the main lab, Raylan placed the stone on a metal platform surrounded by scanners. The lights flickered as the stone touched the surface. "Is it affecting the power?" Maya asked. "Impossible," said Dr. Leon, the engineer on the team. "It's not connected to anything. Yet it's pulling energy from somewhere." Raylan folded his arms. "Run every scan. I want to know what this thing is made of." The next hour was filled with tests, machines buzzing, screens glowing, and confused faces. Every result came back the same. The stone had no known material. It was not metal, not crystal, not stone. It did not reflect X-rays. It absorbed heat. It behaved like it was alive. "Sir," Maya said softly, "we cannot understand it. It feels like the stone is studying us instead of us studying it." Raylan nodded slowly. "Yes, it feels aware." Before he could continue, an alarm suddenly echoed through the base. Beep, beep, beep. Unauthorized access detected. Guards ran to their positions, doors locked. Red lights flashed across the hall. Colonel Reeves grabbed his radio. "Control, who triggered the alarm?" The answer came in a cold, tense voice. "Colonel, Division 9 is here. They're demanding entry." Raylan felt the blood drain from his face. "No, they shouldn't even know we're here." Division 9 was a secret government force that dealt with dangerous information. If they arrived, it meant one thing. Someone leaked the discovery. "Secure the stone," Raylan ordered. "Now." But before the team could move it, the stone reacted on its own. Its surface lit up bright blue. The symbols returned, but they were different this time, faster, more urgent. Like a warning, a final message appeared. "Do not trust them." Maya gasped. "The stone is speaking about Division 9. The lab doors shook as Division 9 soldiers pounded from outside. Bang, bang. "Open this door immediately." Raylan whispered, "Why does the stone not trust them? What do they know?" The stone suddenly gave off a soft hum. The symbols moved again, forming another line of text. "Your past was stolen." And they were part of it. Raylan's eyes widened. Division 9 was involved in hiding humanity's true history? How long had they known? Before he could think, the lab doors slammed open. A tall man in a black uniform marched inside with armed soldiers behind him. His face was cold and expressionless. "Dr. Raylan," he said, "you have something that belongs to the government." Raylan stepped in front of the stone. "This artifact doesn't belong to anyone. It chose us. It spoke to us." The man's eyes narrowed. "It is dangerous. Give it to us." Raylan shook his head. "If it was so dangerous, why do you want it so badly?" The man smiled without warmth. "Because some things must remain forgotten." Maya whispered, "He knows." The stone pulsed with blue light again. The soldiers aimed their guns at it. "Do not touch it." The man snapped, but the pulse grew stronger and stronger, until every screen in the room turned blue. Words flashed in the air like holograms. They erased your history. They hid the fall of the first humans. They fear what you might become. The Division 9 commander shouted, "Shut it down." Now Raylan stepped back. "You knew all along, didn't you? Humans had a past greater than we were told." The commander raised his weapon. "Take the stone and arrest them." Soldiers moved forward, but something happened at the exact same moment. The stone levitated slowly, gently like a feather on water. The soldiers froze, confused. Their guns trembled in their hands. The blue light spread outward, filling the entire room. The air vibrated softly. Then the stone spoke again, its voice deeper, calmer, unmistakably intelligent. "You cannot silence the truth." A shockwave burst outward, not violent, not deadly, but powerful enough to push every soldier backward. Raylan's team remained standing untouched. The commander staggered and looked in horror at the floating artifact. What is this thing?" Raylan exhaled shakily. "It is not a thing. It is a key." A bright beam shot from the stone toward the floor, creating another map, this one larger, more detailed. It showed hidden locations across Earth. One spot blinked red. Maya pointed with a trembling finger. "Sir, that location is in Antarctica." The stone dimmed again and fell quietly back into Raylan's hands, like a child exhausted after speaking too much. Division 9 soldiers recovered, but Raylan already understood. They had to leave now. Before Division 9 regrouped, he looked at his team. "Pack everything. We're going to Antarctica." Before the truth disappears again, the cold wind of Antarctica hit like knives. Snow danced across the endless white land, and the sky glowed with pale blue light. Dr. Raylan and his small team stepped out of the aircraft, their boots sinking into thick ice. Behind them, the engines shut off, leaving only the sound of the icy storm. Maya hugged her jacket tighter. "Sir, are you sure the signal is here?" Raylan nodded. "The stone showed this exact location, whatever secret it holds. It's beneath our feet." Colonel Reeves scanned the area with thermal goggles. No animals, no heat signatures, no structures. He paused. "This place is dead." But Raylan did not believe that. The stone resting in his backpack gave off tiny pulses every few minutes, like a heartbeat guiding them towards something ancient and forgotten. After hours of walking through snow and ice, the team reached a cliff of frozen rock. Something dark lay buried beneath. Decades of ice shaped too perfectly to be natural. Dr. Leon brushed away the ice with a thermal tool. Slowly, a giant door began to appear. A metal door. Maya stepped back in shock. This is not human technology." Raylan swallowed hard. The door was covered in the same symbols found on the stone, symbols older than any writing on Earth. "Heat it," Raylan ordered. They aimed high-powered heaters at the metal. But the ice did not melt. Instead, the stone in Raylan's bag glowed again, warm, bright, alive. He slowly removed it and held it toward the door. The symbols on the metal reacted instantly. They brightened, they moved, they aligned with the symbols. On the stone. The ground trembled. The ice cracked. The massive metal doors slowly opened, releasing air that smelled ancient, cold, and untouched by humans for thousands of years. The team stepped inside with shaking hands and wide eyes. Chamber was enormous, bigger than a stadium, but the ceiling disappeared into darkness. Soft blue lights glowed along the walls, guiding their path deeper underground. Maya whispered, "Sir, who built this?" Raylan's voice was low. "The same ones who left the stone. The ones who knew us before we knew ourselves." As they walked deeper, the chamber opened into a huge hall filled with towering metal structures. The structures looked like Pod's coffins standing upright, lined in perfect rows. Raylan wiped frost from one. Inside was a skeleton, tall, broad-shouldered, with armor made of unknown metal. Its bones were thicker than human bones, its skull slightly elongated, its hands shaped like a warrior. They look human. Maya breathed, but stronger. Raylan touched the armor. "These are humans, humans from our forgotten past." Reeves stepped back. "Impossible. Humans weren't this advanced thousands of years ago." Raylan shook his head. "What if they were? What if humanity lived once as something greater? Something powerful, and then lost everything?" Before Reeves could answer, a loud mechanical echo shook the chamber. A deep metallic hum filled the air. The pod's lights flickered. The walls glowed brighter. Something was waking up. "Sir, this is not good," Reeves warned, pulling out his weapon. Raylan raised a hand. "No shooting. Not unless we have no choice." The hum grew louder, the floor vibrated, and then, from the far end of the hall, something moved. At first, it looked like just light. A soft white glow, floating in the darkness. But as it came closer, the team saw a tall figure, almost 8 feet, made of light and metal, its form shifting between solid and ghostly. Its eyes glowed bright blue. Maya grabbed Raylan's arm. "What is that?" The figure stopped several meters away, raising its hand slowly, non-threatening. A calm, broken voice spoke. "Finally, my children return." The team froze. "Who are you?" Raylan asked, keeping his voice steady. The figure flickered like a weak hologram. "I am Guardian Unit 7, the last watcher of the first humans." "First humans?" Raylan repeated. Guardian nodded. "Yes, the humans who came before you. The ones who built this world, and many others." Maya stepped forward. "What happened to them?" The Guardian's voice grew heavier. "War. A great enemy rose, stronger than any creature known. The humans fought with all their power, but they were betrayed." The chamber lights dimmed, as if remembering. "To protect the last survivors," the Guardian continued. "The first humans sealed their memories and returned them to Earth, weak but safe." Raylan's mind spun. "Are you saying we are their descendants? We were once a powerful species?" The Guardian looked at him, its eyes glowing brighter. Double quotes. "Yes, you are the children of warriors who shaped the stars." Reeves stepped forward cautiously. "If our past was so great, why are we so weak now?" The Guardian replied, "Because strength was taken from you, knowledge removed, history erased. Your species had to begin again. Like children." Maya whispered, "Why now? Why are you waking up today?" The Guardian's body flickered violently, as if struggling. "Because the enemy has returned." Silence fell across the chamber. The cold suddenly felt sharper. Raylan felt his heartbeat in his ears. "What enemy?" The Guardian looked toward the metal doors behind them. "Those who destroyed your ancestors. Those who forced you to forget. They have seen the stone activate. They are coming for you. And for Earth." The chamber darkened. The Guardian's voice became faint. "You must awaken the old power. Follow the map. Restore what was lost." Its body flickered again, and then, with one last whisper, "Remember who you are." The Guardian vanished. The chamber became silent once more. Raylan exhaled slowly. He looked at his team, the fear in their eyes, the cold air on their breath, the ancient history now placed on their shoulders. "We're not just exploring," Raylan said softly. "We're running out of time." For a long moment after the Guardian disappeared, the team stood frozen in silence. The echo of its last words, "Remember who you are," hung in the cold air like a warning written across time. Raylan stared at the empty space where the Guardian had stood. The blue glow from the walls slowly faded until only dim lights remained. Maya finally whispered, "Sir, did we really talk to something that is thousands of years old?" Raylan slowly nodded. "Yes, and it remembered us. Even when we didn't. Remember ourselves." Colonel Reeves scanned the room. If that thing was telling the truth, then humanity was once a superpower, a galactic species. He shook his head. Why would anyone erase that from history? Raylan turned toward the rows of armored skeletons inside the ancient pods. To protect us, or to control us. He didn't say which one he believed more. They moved deeper into the hall. Strange machines shaped like glowing crystals hummed softly from inside the walls. The more they walked, the warmer the air felt. Soft blue fog drifted near the ground, giving everything a dreamlike atmosphere. In the center of the chamber, they found a large circular platform built from a metal none of them could identify. In the middle floated a small orb of light. It pulsed slowly, almost peacefully. "Is that another Guardian?" Maya asked. Raylan approached cautiously. "I think this is something else. A memory core." As he stepped closer, the orb brightened and suddenly exploded outward into a massive hologram. The entire chamber transformed into a projection of ancient Earth, but not the Earth they knew. Cities floated above oceans. Giant crystal towers stretched toward the sky. Thousands of ships moved smoothly between the clouds. And humans tall, strong, radiant, walked with armor glowing like molten stars. Maya covered her mouth. "We were like this?" The projection shifted. Humans standing before enormous alien creatures. Creatures made of darkness and smoke. Their eyes glowing crimson. The sky burned with war. Entire cities fell. Seas turned black dot. Then came the final image. Huge circle of light swallowing Earth, covering it like a shield. The last of the radiant humans stepped inside, their armor cracked and damaged. A tall figure raised a hand, sending a beam of energy into the sky. The shield darkened, then faded into nothing. Maya's voice broke. "They erased themselves to save the future humans." The hologram faded, and the orb returned to its calm glow. Raylan exhaled slowly. "This is why the Guardian exists. To protect this memory. To tell us the truth when the enemy returns." Reeves pressed his radio. "Command, do you copy?" Only static answered. He frowned. "We lost contact." Raylan looked at the glowing machines. "This place is blocking signals. No one can hear us, and no one can reach us." He didn't add except the enemy. Suddenly the stone in Raylan's backpack pulsed again, stronger than before. He quickly removed it. The symbols glowed bright white and rearranged into a single sentence. "Awaken the Guardian," Raylan blinked. "We already saw the Guardian." But then the ground trembled. Snow and ice above them cracked like thunder. Maya gasped. "Sir, something else is waking up." From the far wall, where the first Guardian had appeared, the metal shifted. Panels slid open. Light gathered. And a new figure stepped forward, much taller, much brighter. This one's armor shone golden white, with wings of energy extending from its back. Its presence filled the entire chamber with heat and pressure. Reeves stumbled backward from the force of it. Raylan stood his ground. The Guardian's voice was deeper, stronger, more complete. "I am Guardian Prime, the protector of the last lineage." Raylan swallowed hard. "Why did you wake now?" The Guardian Prime looked directly at Raylan, its glowing eyes reflecting endless knowledge. "Because you touched the stone. Only a descendant of the first humans can activate it. Maya stared at Raylan. Sir. That means Raylan cut her off with a raised hand. What do you want from me? Guardian Prime stepped closer. The air vibrated. To warn you, the enemy who destroyed your ancestors is returning. They sensed the activation signal. Reeves' face tightened. How much time do we have? The Guardian raised its head. For the first time in its voice, they heard something rare. Fear. Not enough. Their ships are already moving. Maya felt her legs weaken. But humanity is weak. We don't have their old power. Guardian Prime extended a hand. The pods behind them glowed. You do not need their power. The chamber lights brightened until the walls shimmered like stars. You only need the truth. Once humans know what they were, they will rise again. Raylan shook his head, but the world won't listen. Governments will hide this. People will panic. Guardian Prime leaned closer. Then you must make them listen. You must restore the first code. Raylan frowned. What is the first code? The Guardian's voice thundered, the command that unlocks humanity's original strength. The stone in Raylan's hand pulsed warm, almost alive. Only you can activate it. Raylan felt his heart race. He was just a scientist. A researcher. Someone who studied rocks, not galaxies. Why me? Raylan whispered. The Guardian Prime answered softly. Because your blood remembers. The chamber went silent. Raylan stared at the glowing stone, feeling something awakening inside him, something ancient, something powerful, something human. He realized the truth. He wasn't chosen by accident. He was born for this. The Guardian Prime's last words, "Your blood remembers," echoed inside Raylan's mind long after they left the frozen chamber. The team followed the Guardian into a deeper tunnel hidden behind the ancient pods. Ice walls glowed softly from old energy lines, like the veins of a sleeping giant. Maya walked close to Raylan. Sir, do you feel anything? Like something changing in you? Raylan didn't want to admit it. But yes, ever since touching the stone, he felt a faint vibration inside his chest. Not painful, not dangerous, just awakening. It doesn't matter what I feel, Raylan said quietly. What matters is what's coming. Behind them, Colonel Reeves walked with his weapon ready, scanning the shadows. We need to move fast. If the enemy detected the activation signal, they might already be in orbit. Maya looked up nervously, as if she could see space through the ice. What kind of enemy can destroy a whole advanced human race? Raylan didn't answer. He feared the truth. When they reached the end of the tunnel, the Guardian Prime stopped. The metal walls opened like petals of a giant flower, revealing a circular chamber. In the center stood a tall crystal pillar, glowing faint red. Raylan stepped closer. What is that? The Guardian Prime's voice tightened. A distress beacon. It was silent for thousands of years. But your activation woke it. The red light pulsed faster. Maya's eyes widened. Wait! Is it calling for help? Guardian Prime slowly turned its head. It is calling the enemy. Silence hit the chamber like a punch. Colonel Reeves cursed it under his breath. So they're coming right to our location? Guardian Prime lowered its wings of light. They already know your world is waking up. They will come to erase the last of you. Raylan clenched his fists. Why? Why fear us if we are so weak now? The Guardian Prime raised its hand. A hologram appeared. A fleet of dark, jagged ships. Not smooth like human ships in the memories. These looked alive like giant predators swimming through space. Their hulls pulsed like black hearts. Maya stepped back. Those things, they look like they're eating the stars. Guardian Prime nodded. They consume energy. They consume life. They consumed the first humans. Raylan felt cold sweat slide down his back. How long until they reach Earth? The hologram zoomed out. Dots of blue, human probes, and red, enemy ships. appeared on a star map. The red dots were moving fast. Guardian Prime answered, its voice heavy. They will reach your solar system in less than 48 hours. Maya covered her mouth in shock. Reeves tightened his grip on his weapon. Raylan whispered, we can't fight them, not like this. The Guardian Prime lowered its head. You are not ready for war. But you can awaken what was hidden. The stone in Raylan's hand glowed again, brighter than ever before. Symbols covered its surface, racing across it like fireflies made of light. Raylan felt his heartbeat sync with it. The Guardian Prime stepped closer. That stone is not simply a message. It is a command key. A master control for all ancient human structures left on Earth. Raylan frowned. Ancient human structures? You mean more chambers like this? Guardian Prime lifted its hand. An enormous hologram of Earth filled the chamber. Millions of faint blue lines glowed beneath the continents like a network of buried cities. Machines and forgotten power. Maya gasped. The whole planet is filled with ancient technology. Reeves shook his head in disbelief. This changes everything. Guardian Prime pointed to the map. The first humans built a global defense system, but it was sealed. Until someone worthy unlocked it. Raylan stared at the stone. So all of this depends on me? Guardian Prime nodded. You carry the blood of a commander line, the last surviving lineage. Only you can activate the first code. Raylan stepped back. I'm just a scientist. I study rocks. I'm not a warrior. I'm not a commander. The Guardian's glowing wings folded gently. Your ancestors didn't choose war. They chose survival. You must do the same. Raylan closed his eyes, breathing hard. Maya touched his shoulder. Sir, you don't have to be a warrior. You just have to be brave, Reeves added. And we're with you. All the way. Before Raylan could respond, the beacon flashed violently, red light flooding the chamber. A terrifying sound filled the room. A deep, distant roar. Coming from the sky. Above Antarctica. Raylan froze. Maya whispered, shaking. That sound, did it come from outside? Guardian Prime looked upward. A scout ship has entered your atmosphere. Reeves stepped back, fear in his eyes. One of those creatures? Guardian Prime nodded. The enemy has arrived. Raylan felt the stone burn hotter in his hand. The chamber lights shook as the ancient structure sensed the intruder. Guardian Prime turned to Raylan. You must awaken the first defense now. Raylan swallowed, lifted the stone, and placed it on the crystal pillar. The entire chamber exploded with blue light. Symbols swirled. Machines woke. Energy surged beneath Antarctica. The Guardian Prime raised its wings and shouted, Earth, rise! And far above in the sky where no human eye could see, a massive shadow moved through the clouds, searching. Hungry. The moment Raylan placed the stone on the crystal pillar, the entire underground structure roared to life. Blue energy raced across the walls like lightning trapped inside ice. Ancient machines that had slept for thousands of years awakened with a deep trembling sound. Maya covered her ears. Sir, what is happening? Raylan stepped back as the stone spun in midair above the pillar, glowing brighter and brighter. The symbols wrapped around its surface in a perfect spiral, moving faster than the human eye could follow. Guardian Prime spread its wings of light. The first defense network is awakening. Prepare yourselves. Colonel Reeves stumbled as the ground shook violently. Ice cracked above them, sending heavy chunks crashing to the floor. Earthquake? Reeves shouted. Guardian Prime shook its head. No. Activation. The hologram of Earth reappeared in the center of the chamber. But this time, the blue underground lines were glowing brighter, turning into rivers of light running beneath continents and oceans. Maya gasped. Oh my God, the whole planet is waking up. Raylan watched in awe. We're standing inside a global machine. A machine built by our ancestors. Guardian Prime nodded. Your planet was designed for war, for survival, for rebirth. The shaking grew stronger. Somewhere deep below them, something massive shifted like the Earth itself was breathing. A booming noise cut through the chamber. Whoom! Whoom! Raylan stared upward. What is that? Guardian Prime answered. The heart engine. The core of the first defense. The hologram zoomed in on the ocean. Beneath the deepest trench, a colossal circular object turned slowly, so big that entire cities could fit inside it. Reeves whispered, stunned, that's under our oceans all this time? The Guardian. Prime lifted its hand. Double quotes, yes. The first humans built their final fortress there. And now, it rises again. Another deep tremor shook the chamber. Suddenly, the stone above the pillar shot a beam of blue light upward. It pierced through the ceiling of ice, through layers of rock, and exploded out into the frozen sky. Raylan shielded his eyes. Is that a signal? Guardian Prime replied. No, that is a command. Far above them, in the Antarctic sky, storms gathered unnaturally fast. Blue lightning danced across the clouds, splitting them open. The light from the stone traveled upward, disappearing into the upper atmosphere. Maya stared at the screens. Sir, look at the signals. Reeves leaned closer. Something's changing in orbit. A hologram appeared showing the Earth from space. Thousands no. Millions of small lights began activating around the planet. Some rose from oceans, some from deserts, some from jungles, some from beneath the ice. Raylan felt chills up his spine. What are those? Guardian Prime spoke softly, almost with pride. Sentinel units, the eyes of the first humans. They are the first layer of defense. Maya watched the hologram with awe. It's like the planet is waking up, remembering. Guardian Prime nodded. Double quotes, as you remember, so does your world. Then the chamber went silent, completely silent. The stone dimmed, but did not stop glowing. It hummed with a warm, steady tone. Raylan touched it gently. This time, the warmth spread through his hands, up his arms, into his chest. He felt something old awaken inside him, something that didn't feel foreign. It felt like home. Maya noticed him breathing differently. Sir, are you all right? Raylan nodded slowly. I feel something. Like a memory that isn't mine. But is. Guardian Prime stepped closer. That is your heritage. The first code responding to your blood. Reeves looked confused. So Raylan is like a descendant of the old rulers? Guardian Prime tilted its head. Not rulers, protectors. Raylan closed his hand around the stone. The moment he did, the hologram of Earth shifted again. This time, something new appeared. A massive structure under the Sahara Desert. Another beneath the Himalayas. Another beneath the Pacific Ocean. Each one lit with bright white light, forming a global triangle of power. Maya whispered. It's like the whole planet is a weapon. Guardian Prime nodded gravely. A weapon created not to conquer, but to defend the last humans when the enemy returned. Reeves asked, can this planet-sized machine stop them? Guardian Prime's eyes dimmed. Not as it is. It needs the final command. Raylan looked down at the stone in his hand. The first code. He murmured. Guardian Prime stepped closer. And only you can speak it. Before Raylan could respond, the chamber lights flickered violently. A chilling wind swept through the tunnels. The ground shook harder than ever before. Maya grabbed Raylan's arm. What now? Guardian Prime raised its head. The enemy. Scout has found this facility. Reeves cursed. They're here? Already. A sharp metallic screech echoed from above like claws scraping against metal. Raylan felt the stone heat up again. Guardian Prime extended its arm toward him. The rising of Earth is not complete. But you must survive. If you fall, humanity falls. The chamber's walls opened behind them, revealing a hidden exit tunnel. Guardian Prime's wings grew brighter. Run. Raylan hesitated. What about you? The Guardian turned toward the direction of the screech, toward whatever was breaking into the facility. The ground cracked. Ice rained from the ceiling. Guardian Prime spoke with calm, ancient power. I was made to protect the first humans. I will protect you. Go. Raylan, Maya, and Reeves sprinted into the tunnel as the chamber behind them exploded with blinding light and a monstrous roar. The enemy had arrived, and the planet was only half awake. The tunnel shook behind Raylan as he, Maya, and Colonel Reeves ran through the icy passage. Light flashed through the cracks in the walls, bright white from the Guardian Prime, and deep red from whatever creature had invaded the ancient base. The sound of battle echoed behind them. Roaring, metal tearing. A clash of ancient power and alien hunger. Maya gasped for breath. Sir, the Guardian can't fight forever. Raylan didn't look back. He held the glowing stone tight in his hand. We must reach the surface. The first code isn't awakened yet. Reeves sprinted beside them, weapon ready. If that monster breaks through the tunnels, we're dead. The stone pulsed again, faster than ever. Raylan felt a shock travel through his arm. Sir? Maya cried. What's wrong? Raylan's eyes widened. The stone. It's giving coordinates. The tunnel suddenly ended in a massive chamber with a tall metal gate. Symbols glowed across it, matching the ones on the stone. Raylan pressed the stone to the gate. A blast of blue light shot outward. Who ohmed. The gate opened. Inside, they found a giant room shaped like a sphere, with a platform floating in the center. Beneath it, swirling white energy moved like a living ocean. Maya stared in awe. What is this place? Raylan stepped forward. The Planet Core Interface. Reeves blinked. In simple English? Raylan smiled faintly. The place where ancient humans controlled Earth itself. The stone floated out of Raylan's hand, rising above the platform. The energy below grew brighter. Symbols appeared in midair. 3 words formed slowly, awaiting first command. Maya whispered. This is it. This is the first code. Raylan approached the platform cautiously. His heart pounded like a drum inside his chest. What do I say? He whispered. The Guardian Prime's voice echoed faintly from far behind them. Your blood remembers. Raylan closed his eyes. A strange sensation washed over him, like memories that weren't his own. Memories of glowing armor, of battlefields among stars, of ancient humans shouting in a language he somehow understood. The symbols shifted again. Speak. We are ready. Raylan opened his eyes. I know the words. Maya and Reeves watched in silence. Raylan raised his voice. Awaken the lost throne. Restore the bloodline. Rise, first humans. The chamber exploded with white light. The hologram of Earth appeared again, but this time, everything changed. Massive structures rose from oceans, breaking the waves like sleeping titans waking. Golden towers surged from deserts. Circular platforms lifted from jungles. Colossal machines emerged from beneath the Arctic ice. Raylan stared in shock. They weren't weapons. They were ships. Maya's mouth fell open. Ancient human ships. Still alive? Reeves whispered. No, not ships. A fleet. Dozens. Then hundreds. Then thousands of glowing vessels rose into the sky, each shaped with elegant curves, golden edges and energy wings. The Guardian Prime's voice echoed again, faint but proud. The first fleet has returned. The entire planet vibrated. Even from deep underground, Raylan felt the Earth itself wake like a giant stretching after a long sleep. Maya covered her mouth. Sir, look! The hologram zoomed upward. In Earth's orbit. The darkness moved. The enemy fleet had arrived. Black, jagged shapes cutting through space like hungry predators. Reeves narrowed his eyes. There they are. The first fleet rose higher and higher, glowing with ancient power. Raylan whispered, This is who we once were, Maya smiled through tears. And who we can be again. The stone descended slowly into Raylan's hand again. Warm and calm. New symbols appeared. Commander identified. Humanity awaits. Raylan froze. I'm their commander? Reeves gave a small smile. Looks like you got promoted. But Maya wasn't joking. She looked at Raylan with a mixture of fear and pride. Sir, the ancient humans trusted their world to someone like you. Someone who leads with heart, not with ego. Raylan felt a weight settle on his shoulders, but it wasn't fear. It was destiny. All of this, Raylan whispered, was waiting. For us, waiting for the day humanity remembered. The chamber lights flickered suddenly. A deep rumbling came from above. Reeves snapped to alert. Sir, the enemy scout is breaking through. Raylan looked at the rising First Fleet on the hologram. Then at the stone. He wasn't a soldier, he wasn't a hero. But he was human, and humans never surrendered. Raylan lifted the stone high. Symbols rose into the air, floating around him like stars. His voice echoed through the chamber. Humans, rise to the stars. The energy under the platform surged upward and swallowed the scene in brilliant blue light. Far above Antarctica, the first ancient human ship opened its wings of glowing gold, stretching across the sky like a celestial guardian. The enemy fleet hesitated. For the first time in thousands of years, humanity was not weak. Humanity was not afraid. Humanity remembered. And the stars trembled at their return.